Hello and welcome to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast, the show where compassion meets prosperity. I am Paul Tembande alongside my beautiful wife Joan here. We're honored to be your hosts. Together, Joan and I have built a home care agency from a little over $12,000 credit card loan. Okay, some people called it a gamble at that time. We've built it into an 8-figure business serving thousands of families over the years. And now we're here to share the lessons, strategies, and the mindset shifts that help us get there so that you can too.
We launched this podcast because the home care industry is often misunderstood. Too many people don't see the sacrifices owners and their caregivers make every single day, or the powerful impact agencies have on seniors and their communities. And truthfully, we looked around and realized there were not many podcasts out there shining a light on this industry. So we felt called to create the Home Care Millionaire Podcast.
This podcast is designed for the purpose-driven provider. For those of you who feel called to care, but also want to build a thriving, sustainable business. Each week, we're going to share with you real-life stories, proven strategies, and powerful mindset shifts that will help you move from just surviving to thriving.
Absolutely. Our tagline says it best. Compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. And here on the Home Care Millionaire Podcast, we're going to show you how to embrace both.
So get ready for inspiration, practical insights, and the encouragement you need to impact lives, build wealth, and create a legacy through your agency. So hit subscribe, folks. Join us on this journey to transform your business, your mindset, and your future. Welcome, folks, to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. Well, today, folks, Joan and I are truly honored to welcome a good friend, a fellow home care agency owner, Miss Cecelia, out of the great state of Arizona, to our podcast today. We've known Cecelia for many years, and she's been a servant leader, if you will, in this community. She is very successful, has a great heart, has a lot to share. We've learned a lot from her. And what do you want to add to this, Joan?
Yeah, we are so excited for you to hear her story and the wisdom she's going to share with us today. So without further ado, let's welcome Cecelia, the angel from Arizona, to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast.
Welcome, Cecelia.
Paul and Joan, thank you. It is such an honor to be here today with you. And, we were just all together in the amazing Boston.
Yes.
So we were back there in Boston and at the Visiting Angel Conference. And, there's over 600 locations now throughout the United States. And I'm just very fortunate that I get to live in the great state of Arizona. It's such a beautiful state out here, as where you folks live, and of course, Boston that we just came from.
Yes.
So I think sometimes, though, it's not really where you live, it's what you have in your heart. It doesn't matter where you live, but what you have in your heart.
Yes.
And so that's why I brought today my purple cow. I'm going to share with you the book, which you both have, said that you've read the book, and it's called The Purple Cow. Mm-hmm. And basically what the book is about is if you're driving down the highway, say, for example, you're up in Wyoming, where I was born and raised. Right. If you're driving down the highway and you see a bunch of cattle off to the right-hand side, do you slow down? No, because you see those cattle all the time. You see the brown cow. What if you saw a purple cow out in the field? Would you not stop and check that cow out? Oh, yeah. And that's what I try to do. And that's what I've tried to do throughout my life, is to be that purple cow, to stand out a little bit. People are going to think you're a little bit crazy, but aren't we all just a little bit crazy? Yeah. And then I had the good fortune, not only with the purple cow, but I got to work for about 10 years with the largest hotel franchise in the world, basically. Oh, wow. It was called Carlson Companies out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay. And I was very fortunate that they let me live here in Arizona. Wow. And I handled the West Coast for them, from Portland down to Dallas, Texas. That was my region. Wow. And this is what we had that we went around and we talked with all of our hotels and all of our staffs about, yes, I can. Yes, I can, teddy bear. So I brought to you today, Yes, I Can Teddy Bear and the Purple Cow, and they're going to be kissing to show you you can do whatever you set out your mind to do, no matter what's happened to you in your life. Because I can tell you both, we all have our stories.
That's
you
right.
know, Paul, I know you have your story. Joan,
Yes.
I know you have your story.
Yes, we do.
We all have our own stories.
Yes.
And my story started when I was a little girl in Wyoming. I was growing up in a very Polish, Catholic, Italian family. So now you know I love food. My dad was Polish. My mom was Italian.
Oh.
And the funny thing is back then they called us Powops because we were half Polish and we were half Italian.
Okay.
So I grew up in this little tiny town up in Wyoming. And when I was 10 years old, my mom was killed in a car wreck. And I remember that my dad telling us kids that she was gone forever. And she went to be in heaven with God. And I thought, that's not nice of God. You know, as a little girl, you don't understand how long forever can be. And the reason I think that I am so successful today, and especially with my Visiting Angels franchise after the last 5 years, is because I know what the people feel like that we go in to help them. Because when I was a little 10-year-old girl, I was scared. I was vulnerable. I needed help.
Yes.
And so throughout my life and throughout my career, I have people say to me, why are you so happy? Why do you seem like you're so upbeat? Why do you walk around with that purple cow? You talk about, yes, that can teddy bear. What makes you so happy? And I look at them and I flash back to my mom.
Yes.
Within 2 seconds, her life was gone.
I know.
So when we get up every single day, we have another day. We have another day to celebrate life.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter where you're living. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how much money you want to make. But what does matter, I believe, is the memories that we instill into the hearts of people that we love and people that we care about. Because someday when I'm gone, I hope I've instilled memories into people's hearts. And that's what we can do. And that's what we do with our Visiting Angels offices every single day. And like Paul, you and Joan both said, that people, and I'm not going to say the entire world, focus on the USA.
That's right.
Because there's different cultures.
Yes.
When people go into the hospital and they come out and they're sick, they got family that take care of them.
Mm-hmm. They do.
There's different cultures. When grandma and grandpa get old, guess what? Family takes care of them.
Yep.
But in the USA, I believe we have become quite a mobile society. Mm-hmm. That means we have moved all over the country and all over the world, basically. So maybe there's nobody there to take care of grandma and grandpa. Or when Aunt Jane that just had hip replacement surgery and she's living by herself, there's no family to take care of her. There's no friends to take care of her. And so that's where Visiting Angels come in, and that's where we get to shine. But I'm kind of like you, you know, what you guys talked about. I was in the hotel industry probably the majority of my life. Now, I can tell you when I was a young person, when I was in my 20s and 30s, you're going to laugh at me when I tell you that I was running what I would consider was the first Amazon.
Oh, wow.
That when I tell you what it was, because it was a franchise, it was out of Chicago, I was running a Sears catalog store. It was a franchise. Okay. And what we did, you remember, I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember Sears catalog.
Yes.
You remember them?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So all you had to do was walk in.
I couldn't afford it, but I remember it.
Yep. You just walk into my little store. You flip through the Sears catalog. and you ordered tennis shoes, a basketball, and a washer and a dryer. You ordered it. And then I would call Sears on the phone, and sometimes I would fax them. I know that's dating me, but we would fax the order.
That's all of it.
For Mr. and Mrs. Bloom that wanted those tennis shoes and that basketball and that washer and dryer. I would fax the order. Wow. Chicago, they would fill it. They'd put it on a truck. They'd send it to my store up in Wyoming. Then I'd call Mr. and Mrs. Bloom, and I would say, hey, your tennis shoes, your basketball, and your washer and dryer are here at the store. Come pick them up. And they would come down to the store and they would pick it up. That was Amazon. Let me tell you what, though. Amazon, I order today, I get it tomorrow. With the Sears catalog store, it might take 2 to 3 weeks, before you got your order. So I always laugh that, I tell people, oh yeah, I had the first Amazon franchise, but it really was. But I was born and raised in Wyoming. And then I went to Scottsdale, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. And I left Wyoming in a snowstorm. The wind was blowing. I flew out of Salt Lake City, Utah. It was freezing cold. Landed at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. The door of the airplane opened up. I saw blue sky, palm trees, 75 degrees. I went, why am I living in Wyoming?
That's right.
So
that
was like about 40 years ago. I moved to Arizona.
Whoa.
And I have 2 adorable sons that I just adore. They're grown now. They have their own families. They still live in Phoenix. And about 30 years ago, there was this little town up in northern Arizona called Prescott, Arizona. And it's about 90 miles north, but it's up in the mountains. It's a little bit more country, kind of like Wyoming. They got cowboys up there. Got the world's oldest rodeo, So it kind of reminded me a little bit of Wyoming. And I said, someday I'm going to retire in Prescott, Arizona. And my dream has come true. And I stayed in the hotel business all those years, flying all over the world. I was so blessed that my sons were out of high school, and I was able to take on this position. I helped franchisees with their hotel. It was like a Radisson hotel, Country Inns and Suites. I was so blessed that I got to help all of these franchises owners, because I was a franchise owner with Sears catalog store. I understood the business. I understood that if you're going to run a business, you've got to be able to make money so that you can pay your overhead. And so I was able to help these franchise owners of these hotels. And I did that for over 10 years. And I got to go to places like, I tell people, I went to Paris, I went to Calgary, I went to Halifax, all major cities in the United States, Las Vegas. And it was such a fun job. And they paid me.
You got paid for it. And that's
And haven't you heard people say that if you love what you do or you're passionate about what you do, you never work a day in your life. So I was very passionate that I was getting to do what I was doing with an industry. The hospitality industry is just incredible. And guess what? It's very much like home care. Stop and think about it. It's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. There's always something going on. You've got trouble with employees not showing up. You've got the guests that are not happy because their TV didn't work in their room last night. So there's always people that are complaining. My husband and I, we bought a fifth wheel. Do you know what that is? It's like a motorhome. You attach it to a pickup. It's like an RV. We bought this RV and we were going to retire and we were going to go travel around the United States. And we did that for a couple of years. It was fun. It was a great way. You didn't have to stay in hotels because trust me, after being in the hotel industry, I didn't really want to stay in hotels anymore. And so we did that for about 10 years. And then I wanted to do something where I could help people. I thought, wow, I have had such a great career. I've done so many wonderful things. My husband and I can continue to travel if we want.
Yes.
But what if I could maybe give back a little bit? You know, what could I do that I could help people? And I went to the local hospital.
Wow.
Said to them,
Wow.
I want to help people. And I think that you guys should hire me here at the hospital. And they said, Cecelia, we know you, and we know your marketing and advertising skills and your energy level. How are you around blood? I went, oh my God, I can't do blood. I'll pass out. I can't do that. My mom was a nurse before she passed away. My dad always thought I was going to be a nurse. And I think I would pass out. But they did tell me at the hospital, they said, there's this company that helps people. They go into people's homes. It's non-medical.
Wow.
It's a non-medical company, and they go into people's homes and they help people. And I said, what's the name of this company? And they said, Visiting Angels.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I've got to find out everything I can about Visiting Angels. And I did my research and I was trying to find out everything. What do they do? And then I found out it was a franchise.
Okay.
I went, oh my gosh, you know, my whole life has been about franchises.
Yes.
Well, the guy who has all of the franchises in Southwest Colorado, Northern Arizona, New Mexico, and part of Wyoming, you both know, is Christopher Smith.
Yes, Chris. Oh, yeah.
Chris Smith is somebody that I still can't believe after 5 years, he is truly the businessman that works with his heart.
Oh, he's a really great guy.
Then he hires all the people that have brains
Yes.
to him, like our CEO, Michelle Johnson.
Yes.
You know? So I tell people, Michelle is my amazing business coach.
Yes.
And she's based up in Colorado. And of course, Chris Smith is based in Colorado. My digital marketing person is based in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Scheduler is based in Utah. My offices are in Flagstaff and Prescott, and we cover 65,000 square miles in Northern Arizona. We have a big region, and it's all very rural. I mean, some of these towns are like Wyoming. Population, 2,000 population.
Wow.
And so I have been so fortunate the last 5 years to have this opportunity to help people that need help. And like you said, people don't understand what we're doing. Do you know what's happening now, Paul and Joan? You know what's happening now?
Yeah.
Do you guys know Bruce Willis? Have you seen Bruce Willis?
Oh, yeah. He's been ill for a while, hasn't he?
Yep. So he's a great movie star, and people all love him. But guess what he's got? Dementia.
Really?
And his wife has just written a book. It's going to be coming out next week, and I believe it's called Unforgettable. And so now, with what's going on in the United States of America, people are starting to see that, oh my gosh, a lot of our World War II veterans are very sick. You know, they've got diseases. And now not the World War II, but now the baby boomers, like Bruce Willis, they're getting sick and they're getting dementia. They're getting Alzheimer's. And so now we're finally having a light shine on what is Visiting Angels. What do we do?
Yes, indeed.
We go into the homes and we help people that need help, people that are vulnerable and scared, like I was when I was a 10-year-old girl. And so for some reason, God or the universe or Buddha, whoever you believe in, has given me this opportunity at this stage of my life to be able to help people that need help. We've all been on our road, our journey.
Yes.
Just like you and Paul and Joan. You guys have all been on your journey.
Oh, yes.
You all have your own story.
Yes.
But if we can instill memories into the hearts of people that we love and we care about, that's what gives us a passion. And that's when you will never work a day in your life.
100%.
Because you get up every day with
100%.
a passion to help people.
100%. You said it all. It's about that passion. It's about that wanting to care. Because the interesting thing about you is the fact that you came from a caring industry. Even with hospitality, you have to care.
Exactly.
You're dealing with folks, you have to care. And in home care, that's what we do. We care for people. But the big difference is the fact that we're caring for people who are vulnerable. In some cases, these folks have no family members. We're the family member.
Yes, exactly. You know, I had a lady that called me the other day, and, you know, I'm pretty tough. I got a pretty thick skin. And she called me and she said that, well, Cecelia, they just cut off my other leg. And I said, excuse me, what did you say? And she said, yeah, you know, they cut off my leg about 4 years ago because of diabetes. And now they decided they had to cut off the other leg. And she said, I need your help. I need somebody to come in and help get me out of bed and get me to the bathroom and help me with my shower. And so I was so shocked the way she was talking, like, you know, like it was just something else that she had to deal with in her life. Yeah. I tried to relate to her, and I said to her, Angela, you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to work on your body, shoulders, and your arms so that you can help lift yourself. You know, you're going to have to start working on that. And she said, oh, Cecelia, I only weigh 89 pounds anyway. Ooh. And I went, oh, my gosh. But you know what? Wow. We're going to get somebody in there with visiting angels, and we're going to help her as much as we can help her. And we're going to become her family. We're going to care for her. We're going to love her. And we're going to make her, the rest of her life that she has, we are going to make it good and brighten her day every single day when we walk in. We're going to brighten her day when she sees one of our caregivers. And my caregivers are highly trained. I train them.
There you
I
go.
bet you guys do the same.
Yes, we do, Angela.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they are your ambassadors, right? They are the ones that the family see. They are your company. So you have to invest in them. And we invest in them through training, ongoing training, so that they are up to date with their skills, with their knowledge, and with that compassion and empathy, because we cannot forget that side. It's not just about the empathy, the heart that we bring into it. So we do.
You're so right. And you know, the thing we found out is that, and I'm sure you've done the same things, it starts from the hiring process. You got to hire folks that care.
Right.
And we talked to another owner. He said, we hire our people, or we people. Is that what he said?
Our people.
Our people. You know, you got to talk to the walk. If they're coming being caring, they have to care, because folks don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. And that's what I
have to thank Visiting Angels, the brand, because they sent us, because you can go online and you can tap to become an angel, become a professional caregiver. And so we get that information from the brand. 1 month, we had 74 applications. We hired 3.
See, there you go.
Because we have to be very, very strict, because we want to make sure that when they go into the home, they are trained, they have confidence, and they're working with their hearts.
Mm-hmm. That's the key right there.
Yep. And in today's world, it's not easy. You know, it's not easy. First of all, you got to drug test people. You know, you got to make sure, you know, that they're not on any different types of drugs that are out there. And so there's a big process that goes into finding that professional caregiver that we can trust and we can train. And I am so blessed to say that we are so lucky that we've got caregivers that been with us 5 and 6 years.
There you go.
Love what they do.
Well, yeah, it's testament also the fabulous owner that you are. I mean, because you're a servant leader here. Based on what I'm hearing and having met you, you're a servant leader. You lead from your heart.
Right.
And so when you have these folks, they stick around because of how well you take good care of them. How well you show empathy for the clients too. It's all part of that.
So what I used to see that too, Paul and Joan, just so you know, in the hotel business, it starts at the top with the owner and the general manager, and then it would go down to the worker bees, to the housekeepers that were going into cleaning the rooms, and the maintenance guys that were taking care of the physical building. So it always starts at the top. I've just been so fortunate that with Chris Smith and Michelle Johnson and the people that surround me, that I am able to do what I do in Arizona with Northern Arizona. And we've got some great visiting angels offices in Phoenix and Scottsdale and Tucson and Tempe and Mesa too. I'm just lucky that I'm in Northern Arizona where the weather is much cooler.
And it's closer to home too. In mind, the way it looks, right? I mean, that's the other part of it too for you.
Exactly. It's beautiful here. And does anybody else have any questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Let me just ask you this, Cecelia, here. Every business has its challenges. What are some of the most significant challenges you face in the home care industry as you've been able to grow your business over the years? And what did you do to overcome those challenges over the years? I don't want to call them problems. To me, they're just the challenge.
One of the challenges is that whenever you buy a product, say, for example, when I had my Sears catalog store, if you're going to buy a pair of shoes, it's going to cost about $30 to make those shoes. You want to sell those shoes for $60. So you can at least make a profit and pay for everything.
Correct.
That is not the way that it is in home care. Because you can't be charging so much money that you can't make a profit. But then again, you have to stay on top of paying the wages and for the caregivers that you are hiring. And of course, we pay our caregiver mileage because they are driving to the client's home. And so there are a lot of hidden costs that is associated with trying to make a profit. And, and I said to somebody, if I wanted to make a lot of money, I would go sell cars, I would go sell real estate, but I want to do something that I love doing. But I would say that the margins and the price of everything, that's pretty challenging. And the other thing is that we work with a lot of veterans. Our World War II veterans. Now we're really doing a lot with the Vietnam veterans, Afghanistan. And one of the things that I was having a challenge with was back there in Washington, D.C. I wish I would have known you when I was having challenges with the Veterans Administration because they weren't reimbursing us enough. I became a pest, an absolute pest with the people, with the Veterans Administration, with Washington, D.C. They finally, last year or the year before, gave us a little bit of a bump, $2 or $3 per hour, so that we can take care of our veterans. And I believe in the United States of America, every veteran deserves to have a visiting angel come in and help them.
100%.
And so that is one of my goals, is to make sure that our veterans understand that when we come in to take care of them, if they qualify, my services are complimentary for that veteran.
Yes.
And I try to get that message out to everywhere that I can. So that has been a challenge as far as, working with the Veterans Administration. I wish my profits, you can only raise the rates so high before, people can afford to pay for that. I kind of thought it would be kind of cool, and I don't know if this could ever happen in my lifetime, but what if, Paul and Joan, you went and talked out there to the people at Washington, D.C. What if Medicare would reimburse us?
That's right.
Do you think it ever happened?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why not?
Great idea, Cecelia. I'm glad you talked about raising rates, right? Because that is one strategy, but you may also want to look at your costs, because we had an aha moment one year when we decided to look at our expenses, and we're like, wow, this is where all the profit is going, right? So we really tightened things on that end, and it helped a lot. So it may be one strategy you want to employ as well. Now, talking about Washington, D.C., guess what? I don't know if you're aware about the GUIDE program. That is something that Medicare, right, through the federal
Yes.
government has initiated. I think it was last year it went live.
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
There you go. So it's not much, but every little bit helps, right?
Every little bit helps, and it's a wonderful program for different states. It depends on the state that you're in. With my state of Arizona, I wasn't able to go with the GUIDE program, but I'm looking at it. I think I can make some changes, and I don't rule out anything.
Of course. And what we're also going to do with you, Cecelia, if you don't mind, is we're going to link you up with another owner who's very on top of things when it comes to the VA. Oh, yeah, that's a byproduct of this. So when we get off, we're going to link you up with that person.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
You guys will be talking. I think you both, as passionate as you are about serving VA, she's just as passionate about serving the VA. So I think both of you talking could get a good product out to serve our veterans who deserve it, who put their lives on the line for us.
Exactly.
It's not even to serve them. So did you have another question, Cecelia?
Yeah. So what would you say to anyone looking into the home care industry, trying to start now because of the baby boom? Everybody's like, okay, home care agency, non-medical agency. What would you say to them to help them avoid some of the mistakes that maybe you have made or other owners have made starting out? Or maybe for those who are in the industry already, what piece of advice or tip do you have to share with them?
I think the tip that I would have to share, coming from my background, is that when you hire people in your office, the people that you are going to hire, the people that you're going to surround yourself with, you've got to have people that have a big heart, because they're going to want to take care of the clients and the caregivers. However, you got to have some salespeople. You've got to have people that are understanding that you can't simply maintain the business. You got to go out and find the business. And so what I did about 3 years ago is I started an event in my region, and I bring together about 300 people every quarter at a networking event. And it's all seniors coming from the community.
Oh, wow.
Come to learn about what resources are available for seniors. You know how I got them to come out?
No. But would love to hear now.
Okay. I give them free tacos and free drinks.
There you go.
Wow. Good. Okay.
And how do you think I pay for 350 people with
sponsors,
free tacos and free drinks? What I did is I went to the hospitals, I went to hospice, I went to other home care companies, I went to Social Security offices, AARP, and I said, hey, would you like to have a table at my event? If you want to have a table at my event, it's going to cost you $200, but I can bring you 300 people every quarter that are going to come and talk to you about your business. They threw that $200 at me like nothing. So if I got 30 vendors, they each paid me $200. Paul, you're smart. How much money is that?
Ooh, 6,000.
That's $6,000, isn't it?
$6,000. So guess what? Yeah. I could pay for the tacos. I could pay for the free drinks. I can pay for the venue. And then I found a hometown hero that I honor, and we give them $500 for going above and beyond. And we honor somebody that helps seniors out in our community every quarter. I do those 4 times, and that has been tremendous for me, getting my brand recognition out there in the community.
Yes. Wow.
What an initiative.
Yeah, I love it. That is awesome.
I did do that as a best practice for visiting angels at the, I think it was the conference in California. And I was a best practice finalist. So that was good with that idea.
Yes, that's really thinking outside the box. And that calls into play your marketing background too.
Correct.
Your marketing, because I mean, it's about bringing people together. I mean, especially folks that share the same, mission, serving seniors. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about that. Yeah.
Did you and Joan ever go to Chamber of Commerce mixers in your community? Did they ever have like a mixer?
And
yes. Do you go to those?
We've been. It's been a while, but we've been.
Okay.
Yes, we have. Yes.
And a lot of times those mixers are in a ballroom at a hotel.
Okay.
That's where I got my idea from.
Oh.
And I think it's Dan from the UK, Dan Archer, who does the care get together, something
Oh,
similar to what, yes, in
okay.
the UK. Yes,
Yeah,
very successful.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like you said, go ahead, sister. Go ahead, please.
No, I would love to franchise this and take it into every home care community in the United States, because it's just such a wonderful time to bring people
Yeah.
together. Because, during COVID, Paul and Joan, during COVID, everything was
Yes.
shut down. And a
Oh, it
lot of
was.
people have not come, they still haven't come out. And it's so important that we connect with each other. We
Yeah.
got to get back to connecting with each other.
We do.
Yes.
We do. It's so important. I mean, we're social beings, aren't we? We have to be together.
Exactly.
I mean, loneliness doesn't do us any good. We have to be together. Yes.
Right.
Anything we forgot to ask you that you may want to bring up, Cecelia, before we close out today?
I don't think so. I would just like to ask both of you if you could give me one tip today. How have you made your agency so successful?
Okay. Wow. You want to stay for another hour? Just kidding, Cecelia. I think for us is building a firm foundation. Coming to this business or this industry thinking, okay, I'm going to do so much. I'm going to impact so many lives. I'm going to make so much money. Guess what? The Home Care Millionaire, right?
Yeah.
But you have to have a solid foundation. Think of a skyscraper, you can go only so many levels based on the foundation. Same thing with home care. You cannot scale beyond what you can support. So for us is building that firm foundation. Did we get it right at the get-go? Not really, but we learned that we had to do that, and making sure that all we call them 7 pillars of home care were in place, and we improved on them as the years went by. So I think it's not rushing into getting all those clients, getting the caregivers, because if you can't support them because you don't have the systems and the structure in place, guess what? It's going to mess up your reputation. Yeah.
Right.
If I'm going to add a few things also, Cecelia, one of the things we've hung on to is our faith. We believe that God put us in this. I'm sure you have personal faith. And we just so believe that God put us in this space, in this industry to be of service. And that if we take care of the least amongst us, and these folks are not the least, I mean, they just need us, right? If we take care of these neediest that are amongst us, as if they were our own, as if they were our parent, our grandfather, our uncle, as if, whatever our aunt would be taken care of. Oftentimes, Joan and I have been to clients over the years where these clients, we had this one gentleman. I remember this gentleman. It comes to my mind every time. He weighed about almost 500 pounds, right? 400 or something
About
pounds.
400. Wow.
And he was not mobile. He was in bed bound. We had to use a Hoyer lift to take him out of the bed. And then Joan would do the bowel movement is what we did for him, because he couldn't do this by himself. He was stuck in bed. We had to have a nurse go out there, I think, a couple of times a week. And so on the 4th of July's, Christmas, Thanksgiving days, New Year days, that the nurse could not go out on those days, Joan went out.
Wow.
We were their caregiver that day because we had to take care of this gentleman. And Cecelia, this gentleman, every time Joan went and did the work, because I was in there as well, I was there as well, but Joan was doing the work because she's a licensed LPN. And so when Joan was doing the work, at the end of everything, we had to leave. He said, well, let us pray. Now, this gentleman was vulnerable, but he always took the time to pray. And his prayer was, God, thank you for sending these people to come help me.
Wow.
May they get home safely. Amen. It's not the money at a certain point. It's not the money. It's the difference you make.
Yeah.
That's the first lesson. The second lesson that we've learned over the years is we've got to take care of our own. It means our caregivers and our employees.
Right.
Pay right, take care of your people. If you do that, they'll take care of you. It's exactly like I used to say years ago that you have to get your eyes off yourself and put it on the other person. So that's what we do. We practice that. We had a caregiver. I'll give you an example here real quick. We had a caregiver who, and this has happened many years. I'm sure it's happened to you too in your company. So, Paul, we have this caregiver who found a check that we had written this check a year ago. She hadn't cashed it a year ago. She said, well, are we going to pay her for her check? It's a year old, so she can't cash it, obviously, right?
Right.
It's a fresh check. I said, okay, no problem. Let's do it. You do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Earned it. Pay her. We serve an awesome God. And if we do what we're supposed to do, we'll be taken care of. So those are some of the lessons we've learned over the years.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that with me. And that took me back to my dad. And my dad always said to me, do the right thing. Wow.
And that's what we do. I mean, it's about caring. It's about, because we're, at the end of the day, like I said, often based on what Angela said, people don't care how much you know. They care how much you care. You know, if you show up for them when they need you, hey, that smile, Cecelia, that you go out there and with your purple cow and all of that, you got to and show you lighten somebody's day that they may not have had. They may be thinking the day's coming to an end. You know, they're dying or something. But when you show up, you lighten up the room. And that's what we're supposed to do each other. We'll get so busy sometimes that we forget to focus on what matters. What matters is love, caring, helping a fellow man or woman, making somebody's day lighter for that day. That is the difference we're calling. That's the way we look at it. So,
well, and that we are so fortunate that God gives us another day.
Yes. I mean, like you start with you're so right. Well, she's like, listen, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. You're very busy, but you found the time to sit and talk with us here. We're so appreciative.
Just delighted and honored. And Purple Cow says goodbye.
Thank you.
Yes, I can. Teddy Bear says goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Both have a wonderful day. And thank you so very much for including me today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. We hope you found inspiration, encouragement, and practical tools you can apply right away in your own journey. Our mission is simple, folks, to shine a light on the incredible impact that home care owners and their caregivers make every single day, and to give you the mindset, strategies, and faith-filled wisdom to build both purpose and prosperity.
Because here is what we believe. Compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. If this episode spoke to you, we'd love for you to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you like more resources or have questions for Paul and I, just head over to askjoanandpaul.com. We'll be honored to connect with you there.
Until next time, folks, remember, you have what it takes to build wealth, create freedom, and leave a legacy through your agency. We're here cheering you on every step of the way. Bye for now.